Solve this question. Pretty simple question. 1 minute for this. If you get the answer, let me know it in the chat. Yes, so every one of you got correct answer. Equal chords subtend equal angles at the center, right? So AB is equals to CD. So the angle subtended by chord AB at the center would also be theta. So since AC is the diameter, then 2 theta plus 50 is 180. So theta is 65 degrees. Perfect. Yeah, solve this one. Fine. So there is a chord of length 24 centimeter, which is at a distance of 5 centimeters from the center. So say this is the chord AB, and the distance from center is 5. So that is, this is the perpendicular. OP is perpendicular to AB, and OP is equals to 5. We know that the perpendicular from center will bisect the chord, right? So if total length AB is 24, then AP is 12. And we want the radius. What is the radius? Radius is nothing but OA, which from Pythagoras theorem, it is OP square plus PA square. So you will get the answer as 13 centimeters. So the radius of the circle is 13 centimeters. Fine. Yeah, do this one. Yeah, so let us discuss this one. In a circle of radius 5, PQ and RS are two parallel chords of length 8 and 6. We need to calculate the distance between the chords if they are on the same side, if they are on the opposite side. So let us discuss when the chords are on the same side. So let us say this is PQ and this is RS. So PQ is 8 centimeters. Okay. Radius is 5 centimeters. So let us drop a perpendicular from the center to the chord. So since these chords are parallel, if I drop a perpendicular to PQ, it will also be perpendicular to RS because these two are parallel. And we know that perpendicular from center bisects the chord. So this is 4 and this is 3, right? And OP is 5, OR is also 5. So OP is equals to OR is equals to 5. So let us say this is point, say X, this is point Y. Okay. Now what is PX? If you observe this triangle POX, this length is 5 OP, and you know that PX is 4 because it is half of the length. So OX is nothing but 3 from the right angle triangle. So since PX is 4, we can say that OX is 3. And if you see this right angle triangle, then OR is 5, RY is 3, so OY will be 4. So OY is 4. Then the distance between the chords is XY. So XY is 1. So the answer is 1 in this case. And similarly in this case, you can see that, say this is 4, then this would be 3. And the same chord will be, if you extend this, this will also be perpendicular to RS. So this is 5 and this is 3. So this would be 4. Now the distance between X and Y, that is the distance between the chords, is 7. Okay. So when they are on the same side, the answer is 1. When they are on the opposite side, the answer is 7. Okay. Let us move forward. Yeah, do this one. Okay, some of you have already done, and one of you have got the correct answer also. So let us discuss this one. So there is a circle of radius 5, and AB and AC are two chords such that their length is 6. So this is the center. So this is AB and this is AC, and OA is perpendicular to BC. So this is BC. OA is perpendicular to BC. Fine. So let us say this point is M. Okay. So let us join OB and OC. Fine. So we know that OB is equals to 5 and OC is equals to 5, and also OA is equals to 5 since it is the radius. So, and AB and AC are given to us as 6 centimeters. Fine. So let us take OM is equals to X. So this length is X. So then what about BM? BM is square root of 5 square minus X square, right? From this right angle triangle, BM is square root of 5 square minus X square. And what about MA? MA is nothing but OA minus OM, which is 5 minus X, right? If this entire length OA is 5 and OM is X, then MA is 5 minus X. So then let us use the Pythagoras theorem in this triangle, BMA. So if you use the Pythagoras theorem, then BM square plus MA square is equals to 6 square. So BM square is 5 square minus X square plus MA square. MA square is X minus 5, or let us say 5 minus X whole square, is equals to 6 square. So let us solve this. 5 square minus 6 square plus 5 square plus X square minus 10X is equals to 6 square. So 10X is nothing but 50 minus 36, that is 24. 50 minus 36, sorry, it is 14. So then X is nothing but 1.4 centimeters, right? If you got OM, then you can find BM. BM is nothing but square root of 25 minus 1.4 whole square. Okay. So BM you will get it as 4.8 centimeters. So this implies the chord length BC. This will be twice of BM, which is 9.6 centimeters. Fine. So quickly copy it down, then we'll move to the next question. Fine. Let us move to the next question. Yeah. Try this one. So it's an easy question. 2 minutes for this. Yes, so let us discuss this one. So AB is given parallel to CD, and C and D are the centers of these two circles, and these intersect at point P. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm dropping perpendiculars from C and from D. So let us say this point is X and this point is Y. Okay, so drop perpendiculars from C comma D to AB, right? So now you can see that perpendicular will bisect the chord. So AX is equals to XP and PY is equals to YB. Also, since these two are parallel and these angles are 90, then these two angles are also 90. So it means that quadrilateral XYDC is a rectangle, right? So then CD will be equal to XY, right? So AB is given as 18. But what is AB? AB is AX plus XP plus PY plus YB. This is 18. But AX is nothing but XP, so I'm writing this as twice of XP. Plus PY is nothing, YB is nothing but PY. So this is twice of PY is equals to 18. So XP plus PY is XY, which is 18. So this implies that XY is 9. So then CD is also 9. Okay. So CD will be half of AB because this is a rectangle and AX is equals to XP. So if this is X, then this is X. And if this is Y, this is Y. Then CD is X plus Y. So CD will be exactly half of AB. Fine, copy it down, then we'll move forward. Yes. So this one, try this question. So the chord which is nearer to the center will be larger. Okay, so let us discuss this one. Say this is the center of the circle. Now, if you see practically by drawing the chords, you can see that as you move the chords towards the center, then their length increases, right? If the chord is much nearer to the center, then the length is more. And if the chord passes through the center, then the length is the maximum, that is equal to diameter. So how can we prove this one? So let us take a chord, say this is AB, and say this is X. And let us take another chord, say CD, and say this perpendicular is Y. Okay. So let us say OX is less than OY. That is chord AB is nearer to center than chord CD. So what is required to prove is that the chord AB is of larger length than chord CD. So just you can do this by using the Pythagoras theorem. So the perpendicular bisects the chord, right? And OA is equals to OC is equals to radius. So what is the length of chord AB? Chord AB is 2 times AX, which is 2 times square root of OA square minus OX square. And chord CD is 2 times CY, which is 2 times square root of OC square minus CY square, right? We have just used the Pythagoras theorem. So this is 2 times root of R square minus OX square, where R is the radius. And this is R square minus OY square. Okay. So this is the length of chord. Now since OX is less compared to OY, so R square minus OX square is more compared to R square minus OY square, right? Because OX is less than OY, this implies OX square is less than OY square. So this implies minus OX square is greater than minus OY square. If you multiply with negative, then the sign of inequality will change. So R square minus OX square is greater than R square minus OY square. So this implies that AB is greater than CD. So if you draw a chord which is nearer to center, it will be of larger length compared to a chord which is farther from the center. Okay. And the maximum length of the chord in a circle is when it is passing through the center, and that is equal to diameter, which is twice the radius. Fine. So copy it down, then we'll move on. Yes, let us move forward. Yeah, try this question. If two chords are equally inclined to the diameter to their point of intersection, then prove that the chords are equal. So let me first explain the question to you. So say there is a circle, okay, and say there is a diameter of a circle. Fine. This is the center. Now there are two chords which are equally inclined to diameter through their point of intersection. What do you mean by equally inclined? So inclined means the angle between them. So say this is a chord and this is another chord. Okay. So say this is chord AB and this is chord AC, where A is the point of intersection. Now, what is the inclination between this chord and the diameter? That is nothing but this angle BAO. That is the inclination. And what is the inclination between AC and diameter? This one, angle OAC. Now it is given that two chords are equally inclined to the diameter. It means angle ABO, angle BAO, this angle is equal to this angle OAC. So then it means that these two chords AB and AC are equally inclined to the diameter. Fine, this is the meaning of the question. Now do it. Yes, I mean there are so many ways to prove it. So what we are doing is we are dropping the perpendiculars. Okay, so say this is x and this is y. Now these are equally inclined, means angle XAO is equals to angle OAY, right? Okay, and OA is the common side. That is, I am considering these two triangles, AXO and OAY. These two angles are equal. OA is the common side, and there is right angle. So by angle side congruency, these two triangles are congruent. Triangle AOX is congruent to triangle AOY by angle side. So this implies that OX is equals to OY. It means what? These two chords are equidistant from the center, then these two chords must be equal. So this implies that AB is equals to AC because the chords equidistant from center are equal. Okay. Yeah. Solve this question. Yes. So let us discuss this one. So there are two equal chords AB and CD, and they are extended. I mean, they are produced to meet at point E. You need to prove that BE is equals to DE and AE is equals to CE. Okay. So let us drop the perpendiculars from O onto the chords AB and CD. So let this point be X and let this point be Y. Okay. Let us join OE. So drop perpendiculars from O to AB, CD and join OE. Now you can see that these two triangles are congruent. Why? because the chords are equidistant, because the chords are equal, then they are equidistant from the center, right? AB is equals to CD implies OX is equals to OY, and so you can see that these two triangles are congruent because OE is the common side. This is 90 and these two lengths are equal. So by right angle, hypotenuse and side congruency, these two triangles are congruent. So triangle OXC is congruent to triangle OYE. Yes, so now you can write XC is equals to YE, right? And since the chords are equal, then all these must be equal, right? Because the perpendicular divides the chord into two equal halves. So their halves are also equal. That is XB is equals to YD. So this implies that BE is equals to DE since XB is equals to YD. And this also implies that AE is equals to CE. So because AB and CD are equal. Fine. So quickly copy it down, then we'll move to the next question. Yes, let us move to the next question. Yeah, do this one. Segment of one chord is equal to corresponding segment of other chord. It means we need to prove that AP is equals to CD, PD is equals to PB. This is the meaning of this, that the segment of one chord is corresponding segment of other chord. AP should be equal to CP and PD should be equal to PB. Line joining point of intersection with center makes equal angles with the chord. So this is the line joining point of intersection with the center. So this should make equal angles. You need to prove that angle APO is equals to angle CPO. So now try this. Yes, let us discuss this one. So just we are dropping the perpendiculars. If I drop the perpendiculars, say this is X and this is Y, then OX is equals to OY because the chords are equal, then they are equidistant from the center, right? Equal chords are equidistant from the center. And let us join OP. Okay, then OP is the common side, OX is equals to OY and angles is 90. So then you can say that triangle OXP is congruent to triangle OYP by right angle, hypotenuse and side. So this clearly implies that angle XPO is equals to angle YPO. That is, we have proved the second part, that the line joining center to the point of intersection makes equal angle with the chord. Right, now let us prove this first part. So this also implies, since these triangles are congruent, XP is equals to YP, right? And since AB is equals to CD, then their halves are also equal, right? That is AX is equals to CY, because these two chords are equal and the perpendicular bisects the chord. So then these halves are also equal, right? AB is equals to CD implies half of AB and half of CD are also equal. That is AX is equals to CY. So if you take these two equations, you can say that AP is equals to CP, right? Just adding these two equations. So just subtract AP and CP from AB is equals to CD. You will get PB is equals to PD. Fine. So quickly copy it down, then we'll move to the next question. Yes, let us move to the next question. So prove that of all the chords of a circle through a given point within it, the chord which is bisected at that point is the smallest. So say this is a circle with center O, and all the chords of a circle through a given point within it. So let us say this is a point P. Now through this point P, I can draw so many chords, right? This one, this one, this one. So there are so many chords which are passing through point P. Now you need to prove that among all these chords, the chord which is bisected at point P, bisected means P is the midpoint of the chord. So that chord is the smallest of all these chords. That is what you need to prove. Okay. Now, when a chord is bisected, it means that if I join the center to that point, it should be perpendicular to the chord, right? So the chord which is bisected means if I join the point P with the center, then this should be perpendicular to the chord. Then this chord is bisected at point P. Now, if I take any other chord, this chord, or any other chord, among all these chords, you need to prove that AB is the shortest chord. So, okay, let us take any other chord. Say this is a chord. Say this is MN. Okay. Now, MN is not clearly not bisected at point P. Okay. So, take any other chord MN through point P. So, let us say MN is bisected at some point Q. That is, OQ is perpendicular to MN. So, let OQ is perpendicular to MN. Okay. Now, if you observe this triangle OPQ, you can say that OP is clearly greater than OQ because OP is the hypotenuse and OQ is a side. So hypotenuse is the largest side, OP is greater than OQ. Now you can see that since this chord AB is farther from the center, this is the smaller one, right? We have already learned that the chord nearer to the center is the larger one, right? So then AB is greater than MN. Sorry, AB is lesser than MN. Lesser than MN, right? Since chord nearer to center is the larger one. Okay. So if there is any point inside a circle, then the shortest chord through this point is the chord which is bisected at this point. That is, OP is perpendicular to this chord. That chord is the shortest. Remaining all these chords will be longer than the shortest chord. Yeah, so copy it down, then we'll move to the next question. Yes, let us move to the next question. Yeah, try this one. So two different circles cannot intersect in more than 2 points. We need to prove this. Okay, let us discuss this one. So say there are two circles, okay? Then it is possible that these two circles may not even intersect in 1 point, or these two circles just touch at 1 point, or these two circles intersect at 2 points, okay? They can't intersect at more than 2 points. That is, this case is not possible, that these are two circles which are intersecting at 4 points. This is not possible. So, I mean, two circles, if there are two circles, then we have 0 points of intersection, or they might touch each other, that is 1 point, or they might intersect in 2 points. So, 0 points, 1 point, 2 points. Okay. I mean, this is also possible in 1 point. This is one circle, and this is another circle. So, this is also possible in 1 point. Okay. Now, why it is not possible that two circles can intersect in more than 2 points is, so let us try to prove this one. Okay. So let us assume that two circles intersect in, say, 3 points P, Q, R, two different circles. Okay. Let us assume that two different circles intersect in more than 2 points. So let us say they intersect in 3 points P, Q, and R. But we know that given any three non-collinear points, okay, we know that given any three non-collinear points, one and only one circle can pass through them. One circle can pass through them, right? But here two different circles are passing through them. So this is a contradiction, okay? So two different circles are passing, that is a contradiction. So this means that two different circles cannot intersect at 3 points. So basically, if you have two circles, then the maximum points of intersection is only 2. Okay. So let us discuss what are congruent circles. So congruent circles are nothing but the circles which have the same radii. So say there are two circles. Okay, let us say there are two circles. Center of one is O1 and radii is R. The center of other circle is O2 and the radius is S. Now say this is circle C1 and this is circle C2. So these two circles are congruent if and only if their radius are equal, that is R is equals to F, R is equals to S. So if the radius are equal, then the circle are said to be congruent. If the circles are congruent, then radius are also equal. And congruent arcs, we have already seen yesterday what are congruent arcs. So say if there are two arcs in a circle with subtend same angle, okay, then they are said to be congruent arcs. Okay, so if this angle is same, if theta is equals to alpha, then arc AB is congruent to arc CD. So arc AB is congruent to arc CD if they subtend same angles at the center. Fine. Yes. I mean, these two arcs need not be of the same circle itself. These two arcs can be of the congruent circles. That is, if there are two circles, so this is one circle and this is another circle. These are congruent circles. Then if there is an arc which subtends an angle theta, and if there is another arc CD which subtends which also subtends an angle theta, and the radii of these two circles are equal. Okay. So still I can write that the arc AB is congruent to arc CD. Fine. So two arcs are congruent if they subtend same angle at the center, right? And the arcs may be of the same circle or they may be of the congruent circles. Still the arcs are said to be congruent. And if the arcs are congruent, then the length of arc is equal. That is, the length of arc AB is equals to length of arc CD. So you can say that if the length of two arcs is equal, then the arcs are congruent. Or if they subtend same angle at the center, then also the arcs are congruent. So finally I can write two arcs are congruent if and only if they subtend same angle at center, or I can write two arcs are congruent, okay, if and only if their length is same. That is, the length of arc AB is equals to the length of arc CD. This length I am talking about, this curved length, this is same. Fine. And congruent arcs, we talked about those only when they are in the same circle or in the congruent circle, right? If the two circles are non-congruent, then even if these two arcs subtend same angle, right, then you can't say that these two arcs are congruent, even if they subtend same angle. Fine. So two arcs are congruent if they subtend same angle or if their lengths are equal, but they should be of the same circle or of the congruent circle. So yeah, so try to prove this theorem. If two arcs of a circle or of congruent circles are congruent, then corresponding chords are equal. Say these are two congruent circles. So the center of this one is O1 and the center of this one is O2. So given that arc AB is congruent to arc CD, arc AB is congruent to arc CD, you need to prove that length of chord AB is equals to length of chord CD. This is what you need to prove. And the radius is same. This is R, this is also R. Fine. Yes, I mean it is pretty simple because these arcs are congruent, then they subtend same angle at the center. So this implies that angle AO1B is equals to angle CO2D. And if you join this AB and CD, you can see that these two triangles AO1B is congruent to triangle CO2D by SS axiom, right? Because these two sides are equal, that is equal to radius, and the angles are also equal. So this implies that AB is equals to CD. Fine. So if there are two congruent arcs, then the corresponding chord length is also equal, right? If there is one arc AB and there is another arc CD in the same circle, and if these arcs are congruent, then these two chord lengths are also equal. And the converse is also true. That is, if there are two chords whose chord length is equal, okay, then this arc length is also equal. That is, these arcs are also congruent. So if there are two congruent arcs, then their corresponding chord lengths are equal, and vice versa. That is, if there are two congruent chords, that is equal chords, then their corresponding arc lengths are also equal. That is, the arcs are congruent. So let us move forward. Yeah, do this question. So there are two equal CD of a circle with center O, and they intersect each other at point E. You need to prove that AD is equals to CD. Yes, so let us discuss this one. I mean, I think you can prove it in many ways, but let us see the easier way. So AB is equals to CD, right? The chord lengths are equal. So this implies that this arc and this arc are congruent, right? So since AB is equals to CD, I can say that arc AB is congruent to arc CD, right? Now, if these two arcs are congruent, it means that the length of arcs is also equal, right? That is, this arc length AB is equal to arc length CD. Okay, to be more specific, let me write it in this way, that arc length ADB is equal to arc length CBD. Okay, so ADB is this arc and CBD is this arc. Fine. So what I'm doing is, this BD is common, right? This arc length BD is common in these two. So let me just subtract. So arc length ADB minus arc length BD is equals to arc length CBD minus arc length BD, right? What is arc length ADB minus arc length BD? That is nothing but arc length AD. So this is arc length AD, and the arc length CBD minus arc length BD. It is nothing but arc length CB, right? So finally we have proved that arc length AD is equals to arc length CB. Now since these two arcs have equal lengths, then these two chords will also have equal lengths. That is, chord length AB is equals to chord length CB. Okay, this is what we have proved. Fine. So copy it down quickly, then we'll move to the next one. Yes, let us move to the next one. Yeah, try this question. If two chords of a circle bisect each other, then they must be the diameters. So basically what this question is saying is that, say there is a circle, okay? This is the center of the circle. Now you can't have two chords like this such that these two chords bisect each other. Okay, this is equal to this and this is equal to this. So this case is not possible. This is not possible because these chords are not passing through diameters. This question is saying that if two chords of a circle bisect one another, then they must be diameters, right? That is, if the chords are not diameters, then they can't bisect each other. So this case is not possible itself. This is what this question is trying to say. So let us try to prove this. So say there is a circle. Okay. Say there are two chords. Fine. So say this is called AB and this is called CD. Okay. Let us say this intersect at point P. Fine. Now I don't know whether this point P is the center of the circle or not. I don't know anything about that. But I know that these two intersect at point P and these chords bisect each other, right? So AP is equals to PB and CP is equals to PD. This is given to me. Okay. Now let us consider these two triangles. The triangle AP and the triangle BPD. So these two sides are equal and angles are equal because these are vertically opposite angles. So angle CPA is equals to angle PD because these are vertically opposite angles. So this means the triangle CAP is congruent to triangle BPD, right? So this triangle CAP is congruent to triangle BPD. So let us just join this. Okay. So triangle CAP is congruent to BPD. This implies that CA is equals to BD, right? That is, these two must be equal. Fine. Now, if two chords are equal, then their arcs are also congruent. So arc length AC is equals to arc length BD. Fine. So similarly, you can prove that triangle PAD is congruent to triangle BPC. That is, these two triangles are congruent by the same SS criteria. So this will imply that this AD must be equal to BC. Okay, this is line segment or the chord AD. So if the chords are equal, then the arcs are also equal. So the arc AD must be equal to arc BC. Okay, so arc AD is equals to arc BC, whereas arc AC is equals to arc BD. So this simply implies that arc AC plus arc CB is equals to arc AD plus arc DB, right? So, I mean, what I have done, okay, let me write it in this way, that arc AC plus arc AD is equals to arc BD plus arc BC. This is what I'll get if I add these two equations, 1 and 2. This one and this one, right? AC plus AD is equals to BD plus BC. So what is arc length AC plus arc length AD? This is nothing but arc length CAD, right? And what is arc length BD plus arc length BC? This is nothing but arc length CBD, right? So you can see that arc length CAD is equal to arc length CBD. Okay, it means what? CD divides circle into two equal halves, or say two equal arcs. Okay, this length CD divides the circle into two equal arcs, right? This arc CAD is equals to CBD. So this means that CD must be the diameter of the circle. Okay, so in a similar way you can prove that AB must also be the diameter. Fine. So similarly you can prove that AB is a diameter. So we have proved that if two chords bisect each other, then they must be diameters. So this type of case is not possible, that there are chords which are not passing through the center and they bisect each other. This is not possible. If they bisect each other, then they have to be diameters. Okay. So we'll end this session here, and tomorrow we'll continue further with angles subtended by arcs, and we'll discuss more on cyclic quadrilaterals. Okay, so we'll end